to show you how QGIS could be used to potentially expand upon bike routes within Dallas. So, say for example, you got hired by the city of Dallas, by like the mayor or something, and it is now your goal to try and figure out existing bike routes, where they're at within the city, and what you can do to possibly expand them out and kind of mimic something over there like in the Netherlands. So just a very basic example. Right now, I've just opened up. So as you can see with these layers that I have right now, it shows the city limits, parks, bike routes, and streets, as well as walking and running trails. Like so for basic exercise. So let's turn off the streets layer. So as you can see, within the city of Dallas, there isn't that big of a network of bike paths, and a lot of these bike paths are primarily coinciding with fitness trails. For example, like a well-known one would be Katy Trail. Let's take a look at the layers or layout that I made. So let's see, Dallas Bicycle Paths. So just a little bit more cleaned up. So here's the legend. You have bike paths, parks, and then walk and run trails. The city limits, which I didn't put the legend, but I should have. And there is the north-seeking arrow. So let's take a closer look. So a lot of these bike paths, for a resident of Dallas, you would know that a lot of these paths, they are not true bike paths. They are shared routes on roads and streets, but not very safe to ride on. So from there, with this task to expand upon bike lanes within the city of Dallas, you can already know that there's a lot of work to do and that this isn't the most accurate map. So you can see right there, yeah, they all coincide with like fitness trails. And then right here, that's the Katy Trail. It's like this big old railroad track that is now a walking running trail right in downtown Dallas. So yeah, it's not really like a bike road, but they label it as one. Oh yeah, and also, so these files, so say you are that worker that got hired by the city of Dallas, you want to get a, kind of like a base start. So you could Google open source shape files for the city of Dallas, which I did, and luckily the city of Dallas GIS Services has a list of open source shape files. So after I did some searching, I scrolled down, and under Public Works, there are the on-street bike routes, which you'll download, and right there is the shapefile. Also, you can use OpenStreetMaps. This is a really nice tool to help your search and to kind of verify things because this kind of open source software might be more updated than what you'd find on the city of Dallas. So let's take a look. Alrighty, so let's look at these layers over on this side panel. Cycle OSM, yep, already there, good to go. So let's zoom in a little bit. And if you take the time to compare this OpenStreetMap with the map in QGIS, they are pretty similar. So as you can see, it kind of runs along all these little bike routes. A lot of these are still not that accurate. I think it's from users that just are putting these lines within OpenStreetMap just to show where you can ride. I wouldn't say that it's preferred to ride on the streets like where it's marked on here, but you can. In a lot of these streets, there are no even shared bike lanes with that you can share with the cars in the streets. All right, going back to QGIS, I want to show you an example of a city in the Netherlands that you could kind of base off of, do some research, and potentially see how you could potentially emulate what they do over there. So let me zoom to the layer. All right. So this right here, I pulled these shapefiles off of that OpenStreetMap with the OpenCycleMap layer. So let's take a look. And there, once I add that layer with the map lines, you can see where it kind of layers on all of the bike paths within the city of Utrecht. Also, with these roads, you can see like where they're interconnected. And there's this whole cool thing with the Netherlands where they have these national cycleways where you can literally travel between cities on a bicycle because they have just solely like designated bicycle roads. Also, you can see the city itself. If I add that layer, well, not the whole city. What you can do is you can only zoom in so far out within OpenStreetMap because otherwise that's way too many nodes for a shapefile to be extracted from. So let me show you an example. So going back to this, let's go look at Utrecht, Netherlands. All right, so here we are. We are still in the OpenCycleMap layer. So let's go to export. It gives you the boundaries that you're exporting from. So let's hit that button. See, too many nodes. The limit is 50,000. So from there, you gotta zoom in. So let's zoom in a little bit here. And there we go. Then from there, you can get a map from the OpenStreetMaps, or that shapefile data, and you can drag it and drop it from your downloads. So here, let me show you Mac, downloads, and see there's a bunch of just files there you can kind of just drag and drop down here in your layers panel. And then a lot of it is also stuff just from my desktop. So that does not pertain to this project though. All right, so I'll turn off that layer and then let's see. And for this layer, these map points, these denote bicycle parking areas, which are pretty cool. And it would be kind of nice to see that within a city like Dallas or Austin, Texas, because it would allow bicycle commuters to safely store their bicycles without fear of being stolen by hobos. Because in Dallas and Austin, there is a decent homelessness problem, so a lot of bicycles get stolen. All right, let me go back to the layouts. So I made this earlier, not the fanciest map, but kind of gives you like a basic picture. So you show this to your boss, like, hey, sir, this is what bicycle paths in a city in the Netherlands looks like. They've got all this nice bike parking. They've got all these fancy bicycle paths that coincide with highways, and yeah, it looks like an interstate system. You roll in from another city, come in, and then boom, got easy maneuverability through the city, all on your bicycle. And also, whenever I talk about all of this bike lane stuff, over there in the Netherlands, it's not like how cyclists are here in the U.S. They're just normal Joes. They don't have fancy road bicycles. They're just normal upright, like couple of gears on a bike. So nothing too fancy. So, all right, and that's it. Pending any questions. As you can see, QGIS, it is a very powerful tool, and you can make very simple looking products, which would be good, for example, if you have a non-technical supervisor. So let's zoom back to Dallas. Zoom that layer, turn it back on. All right, and the cool thing about this is that so for the OSM standard, all you gotta do to get this is go to your plugins, go to manage and install plugins, and then so it'll connect to the here we go. All you gotta do is type in OSM quick map services, and then yeah, you will install the plugin, and it'll be good to go from there. So once it is installed, just go to web, go to quick map services. There's one that's already pre-installed on QGIS with NASA. I haven't taken a look at that yet, but you can go into OSM, and then it'll take you to the OSM standard right there. And you just click on that, and it'll populate your map. And that's the cool thing about this too, is that, you know, for example, I'm working in WGS84. All of the polygons and lines that I'm working with, they are all WGS84. So whenever I clicked on the OSM standard, it lays it on in WGS84, and it perfectly aligns with everything. So it's pretty amazing once you like fool around with this and kind of get a decent idea of how to use QGIS. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for your time.